234. Politics is about evolution. Chalcedon Position Paper number 184, January 1995. In 1987, Walter Truett Anderson's To Govern Evolution, Further Adventures of the Political Animal, declared on the first page that the world has changed, and we cannot understand what it means to govern unless we grasp this fact. Politics is about evolution. Page 1. This statement sounds bizarre to those reared in a traditional setting who see politics in constitutional terms. There can be, however, no true grasp of our contemporary world apart from Anderson's analysis. What does evolution have to do with politics? Everything. According to the evolutionary mythology, chance and time brought about the development of this vast and manifold universe. The theory, of course, presupposes trillions of miracles, beginning with the coming into being of the first atom, of life and something out of nothing, and all the vast changes from nothingness to everything. Even Charles Darwin admitted that the development of the eye was not explicable by his theory. It is, however, an article of faith with these militant new pagans that evolution did happen. Until now, it has been a blind and mindless process, but it need no longer be so. Man, intellectual, scientific man, has arrived, and he will now guide evolution to a desired end. This means that politics is now about evolution, guiding its future course. The Nazis abused that power, but despite their drift into racism, it is held by some that with their elimination of mental defectives by sterilization and by selective breeding of the, quote, superior, end quote, human stock, they supposedly started well. Currently, a major debate is again between those who champion heredity as against environmentalists. Many IQ studies correlate a low IQ with poverty, crime, welfarism, and the like. Such statistics are without much value because they get what they test for. In any slum area or prison, in any city in the world, with peoples of any race, a like result is likely. These tests are invalid because they never include determining characteristics, the presence or absence of religious belief. Historically, the determining forces of faith and character are not considered, nor the character of the family. Over the years, I have seen vividly, in more than one racial and national group, how important these factors are. Early in the 1920s, near a playground, I sat and visited with a boy who was obviously backward, as it was then called. Later, I wondered what would happen to him as he grew up. The backward boy was Jewish. Another boy, also Jewish, dismissed my concern. "Don't worry about him. He's Orthodox, and his family will take care of him." In later years, I saw again and again persons who were backward become good, functioning members of society because their religious and family background provided total support so that they became functioning and law-abiding members of society. I came to know one older man who had so absorbed biblical and proverbial wisdom that he was in fact a wise, if simple man. The evolutionists, of course, see things materialistically, and thus they fail to note the decisive effect of faith, character, and family. How is politics all about evolution? I have heard it argued that homosexuality and abortion are good because they keep the birth rate down. This is a strange argument, because so does murder. Once we recognize that politics is indeed about evolution in our time, we can understand such things as the Chinese population policy, the Cairo Conference on Population, etc., and the growing hostility to any truly biblical stance. Creationism and evolutionists are totally at odds. Anderson lists some of the evolutionary/political undertakings which have already been implemented. The Earth Restoration Project, eugenics, controlled or directed breeding, sperm banks, limits on population growth, attempts to create new forms of life, speed up mutation and the development of new species, and so on. Page 350. Anderson stated, "Population is arguably the predominant global issue of our time, connected with all the other questions that arise in the context of world politics." Page 358. Anderson stated also that the decades ahead will be dominated by the biological revolution. Men will intervene to control natural process in man, such as parenthood. This will mean bioshock for many. Page 4. In 1935, I recall an elderly printer who viewed Washington, D.C. with horror and would say very graphically, "Those concerned idiots will wind up going after our testicles." For Anderson, history's most important change is rapidly overtaking us. The total control of man, that is, by means of the state, the incarnation of man. Not surprisingly, Anderson is hostile to creationism. He is also hostile to mankind, because people are not eager to be subjected to the radical planning, remaking, and controls he calls for. He says, "Homo sapiens is the only species that evolves reluctantly." Page 25. Men are afraid of knowing about the future politics is planning for them. He cites arguments in favour of protecting plants, and he tells us, in some countries it is even illegal, punishable by a fine of £400 in Great Britain, to plant varieties not listed in the official seed catalogue. Page 73. Human evolution must be controlled, Anderson believes, page 148 following. He expects various countries to launch deliberate eugenics programs, page 183. In brief, Anderson is correct in stating that politics today is about evolution, and therefore about the total control of man by man. Creationism, on the other hand, is about man, created in the image of his Maker, finding salvation and freedom in Jesus Christ. The doctrine of creationism is both true and centrally important. It is basic to freedom. Unless churches stress the importance of freedom under God and creation and redemption by our Lord, they will soon have no freedom to teach anything